Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Apple stock, it's up 0.69% on Friday, and Warren Buffett selling lots of shares of Apple. Now that's one catalyst, right, for this thing to sell off next week, possibly. Second thing, we do have this bear flag right here in a negative sloping 20-day moving average right here, this white line. The third one here, we do have this head, left shoulder, and we might be forming a right shoulder here on Apple stock. And if this is where to play out, we can definitely come all the way down to 198 to even 200 on Apple stock, and that would be a weekly retest of that breakout. Now, going into Monday's session, what to look for right here on Apple stock? You can see, this thing barely holding right here, 220 as a support. Now, if that gives up, we take out these higher lows down here. Actually, I would say 217.85, that's going to be the level. If that's out under 220, you're going to see a flush down to 213 and possibly down to 207, and underneath that level, you can see lower Bollinger Band already pointing down. Underneath 207, this thing can come down easily down to 198 to 200. Now, if Apple actually moves higher going into next week and breaks out over 225 20-day moving average, and I'm just rounding things up here, 224.72. So I would say 225 breaks, you're going to see a move. And this is not going to play out. This bear flag, head and shoulder, and no matter who's selling the shares, over 225, Apple can actually make a move back up to 230, and then this gap on top, 232.33 on Apple stock. So watch out, a big move here on Apple stock might be coming next week. So before we get into Amazon, I do appreciate all of your support, especially putting 100 plus likes on these videos, because that's the only way, this videos will go out to more people and this channel will grow. So guys, it's weekend and I know a lot of you guys are possibly waiting for this update, so definitely hit that like button, make it go over 100, and that would be a really achievement for this video, at least in the near short term. Also, we're getting really close to 10,000 subscribers, and I know a lot of you guys are here and you watch my videos but you're not subscribed to the channel. So please hit that subscribe button, make it go over 10,000, and we can actually grow stronger together, and I can put out more contents for you guys here in this channel. Now, Amazon, what happened on Friday? This is actually a massive sell-off right here on Amazon. Look at this move. And up until now, guys, this thing is trading under 171, lower Bollinger Band, and look at the move. Look at this extension that we got all the way down to the next support 160, and then we got a bounce off of that level. And now trading over where? This critical level 167. So here on Amazon, we do have some high volume in Amazon holding 167. So we might see some sort of a relief rally, a retracement back up to maybe 171 to 173. And this is where you need to watch 173. Only if that breaks, we might be going back up to fill this gap on top at 181.87. But if this thing cannot recover and actually takes out this critical support 167, in that case, and I thought maybe Friday is the day where this thing would come down and close this gap completely, but we got really close to it, guys. And I did mention that in my video, but I didn't think it was gonna happen that fast, closing this gap in just one day. So yes, we can definitely come down again underneath 167. Watch out for this critical support 160 and this gap right here 159.76. But this thing is extremely oversold, and if you're trying to short Amazon, good luck with that. On Google, stock is down 2.35%, so Google also got under 170, and looks like we got a doji indecision candle here on Google stock, and we do have this gap down here and the lower Bollinger Band pointing down. So this thing can definitely come down to 162, and then this gap, that's going to be a strong support as well, 158.28. To the upside, we gapped down here on Google stock on Friday, so there is a gap at 170. If this thing somehow gets up to 170, watch out. If this thing gets a rejection, definitely that could be a shorting opportunity right here on Google to play to the downside all the way down to this gap 158. But if this thing breaks and holds 170, then there will be more upside back up to 176, 180, and then this gap 183.33. So over 170, a little bit more bullish, not completely, still on a daily downtrend, and underneath 170, possibility of coming down and filling this gap, and that is almost what, $10 move to the downside from 168 down to 158. And here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow, and there is no subscription, nothing here on X, so it's totally free, guys. Now, we just don't make money on my Patreon, we crush it. I mean, look at these plays, and these were swing trades. First one, KRE. What happened today? Massive dump off. This thing also paid. Another one, we actually took this position right here on PayPal, pretty much at the top, $65 puts. And what happened today on that one? I think we saw 61, right? So you can see, pre-market, I was saying that I'll be selling these right at opening. Massive, massive profit on this one. Also on PayPal right here. So all these plays, and especially people that are actually serious about trading and don't know what they're doing in the market and they want some guidance, this is it, guys. You can also support the channel by joining Patreon. So that link will be down below in the description. On Meta, it's down 1.93%. So Meta, I mean, this gap up and go completely wiped out. I mean, from almost 530, 527 down to 476. That is a huge turnaround right here on Meta, and a huge rejection, and now this gap is fully closed from the earnings, and now looks like if this thing actually makes a move and goes under 470 and then takes out 452, maybe not next week, things can turn really ugly really quick here on Meta, and this thing can come down and close this gap at 400. So watch out for that. Now, if you look at my screen, above 470 so far is holding 477.92, so I'm just going to round things up. 5-day moving average, I would say 488 holding into closing. That's going to be a critical support. Underneath that level, 470 to look for, and then watch out for a move down to 452. But if this thing can actually clear and hold 490 right here, then there is a possibility we might be going back up to 520 again on Meta. So over, I would say 490, a little bit more bullish, and it will be also trading over 50-day moving average, but underneath 20-day and 50-day, definitely not looking bullish. We just need to give up this support 470, and then you're going to see a flush down to 452, 439, lower Bollinger Band, and possibly at some point it's going to happen, closing that massive gap at 400 on Meta. On AMD, it's absolutely flat on the day, but AMD getting a bit oversold, and this thing pretty much not moving anywhere. But if you look at my screen, actually I went live on Friday for maybe 20 minutes. It wasn't to take any trades or anything, just to give out some guidance. And I did mention that AMD could be a nice short opportunity right here near 138. And look at this move, 137.10, and from there it got kicked out, and this thing came back and pretty much gave up all the gains, and now flat on the day. So here on AMD, guys, the next critical support will be down here at 125. And if this thing can clear and hold 138, we might see a dead cat bounce, possibly up to 145 to 148. You know, if we can come up here, then we can talk about possibly this gap 153.80. Until then, AMD on a strong downtrend, and if this thing gives up 125, we might go much lower. Now, is this actually a shorting opportunity now? Well, absolutely not, because this thing getting oversold, and yes, possibly can go down a bit more, but you don't want to go and short into this hole right here where this thing is getting oversold. We might get some sort of a relief rally, and if that happens, you need to short into that rally, not while this thing is selling and pretty much down in a significant way. Just matter of 2 weeks. I mean, you can see, I mean, it just 2-3 weeks from almost 200 down to 130 on Friday. On Microsoft, it's down 2%, so Microsoft got really close to this gap, just under 400. But why we got a bounce? So this is actually a big name. It's just not gonna go down and die easily. But this can also turn into a nice head and shoulder pattern. We get some sort of a bounce, maybe a lower high right here, and then we take out this low and possibly come down and fill this gap, or we can go straight down early as Monday to fill this gap down here. Now, why we got a bounce? And you can see Bollinger Bands on big names, they work really well. And you can see Bollinger Band here on bottom sitting at 404. And look at the low, 404.34. We got a bounce off of that level, went back up to, I mean, almost up to 413, 415. And then pretty much gave away all the gains, came back, and now trading at 408. So there will be, a little bit of support here on Microsoft around 404. But the major critical support will be down here after filling this gap at 400, and the gap is slightly under 400. But if this thing gives up 400, the next support at 390, and then maybe even 384. To the upside, as long as Microsoft can actually stay above, I would say after filling this gap right here, just under 400 to 400, we might see some sort of a counter trend rally back up to the upside. And if that happens, watch out for the resistance at 413, and over that, you're going to see Microsoft going up to 420. So Netflix also down 1.79%, and we talked about it before in my video that there is a strong support right here, lots of consolidation, and now 630, that's going to be a big level of support. But if that actually gives up at some point, you're going to see a lot more selling, and you can see exactly why I said that. I mean, look at this move on Friday down to 608, almost near this critical support 604, and pretty much touching lower Bollinger Band. So now, if we get some sort of a counter trend rally right here on Netflix, there will be resistance at 624, 630, and then 645. Underneath 630, this thing can come back easily down to 604, and soon as that gives up, there will be more selling down to 588 and maybe even down to 564. On Tesla, stock is down 4.24%, so Tesla getting absolutely destroyed on Friday. And look at this move. Not only we did fill this gap at 213, we did not hold this support. And look at this, guys. I mean, 50-day moving average now sitting at 208.47, this red line. And so far, I mean, we're barely holding 50-day and this lower Bollinger Band. Now, if this thing gives up this support early as Monday morning, we might see more selling easily down to 200. And if this thing actually cracks under 200, that is where opportunity will come for the dip buyers like myself. Again, I mean, I can play this over and over. People that are subscribed to my channel, you know that I actually held on to my shares for almost 5-6 months and cashed out big money pretty much right here on top. Did not sell exactly on top, but I was selling as this thing was going up over 230 bucks. I think mostly at around 250 I sold. And now I'm prepared to buy this dip again. And anything that is around 200 goes under 200, I'll be just buying more shares of Tesla. I mean, this is easy. People that are actually scared, they don't like to buy these dips. But if you can hold, you can see, I mean, there is so many people, they got actually frustrated, holding these shares, and Tesla was making new lows and like, oh, it's not going to go back up. We're not going to see. And I said, I'm not selling a single share until 230. And now I'm telling you guys, I made really good money on Tesla shares, and now I'm ready to buy back on this dip. Now I'm not buying here. At least I'm gonna wait and see where this thing bottoms out. But anything close to 200, if it goes under 200, I mean, yes, we do have this gap down here, 147. If things actually, go down a bit more and there is more selling in the market, obviously Tesla will sell off even more, and there is your opportunity to buy the dip. So a lot of people may not agree with that, but that's what I do. And every time I buy these dips, some cases, I get a hold. And I don't sell names like Tesla, Google, Microsoft for loss. Never, ever. It will come back up. So this is going to be a buying opportunity depending on how you're actually approaching this stock. If you're just a short-term trader and you're trying to like make money off of it, well, that might be not something that you want at this point, because it's on a downtrend. Until the downtrend breaks, it's not going to go up. So, and I like to buy when it's cheap. When there is a dip, I don't like to buy here and then sell even higher. That is not what I do. This is not the channel about that. Like, oh, I buy on a breakout and a huge breakout and now I'm chasing. No. I mean, yes, you can play the breakout in the short term, but if you're going long, you need to buy them dips when they're coming down, they're low, and you sell high. Now, a lot of people nowadays, they buy high and sell, or at least try to sell even higher, and you can see what disaster can happen when you try to do that. Imagine you went long at 250 or maybe even 240 or even 270. There are people holding Tesla shares at 300. I know quite a few people that actually holding Tesla shares at 300. So chasers, they get destroyed. If you have patience, you can buy something like Tesla at a lower price. Yes, you're gonna make money. So that is why I think that is an opportunity that is coming our way on Tesla once again. So going into Monday's session, guys, and definitely would love to hear your thoughts on Tesla. Put it down below in the comment section. 208 support and then 200. Underneath 200, lot more selling, possibly down to 183. If this thing can actually get over, this is going to be a resistance now, 212 to 213. If it can get over that level, then watch out for a move up to 5-day moving average, 222, and then 231 up to even 240, and then this gap, 245.63. On Nvidia, stock is down 1.78%. So Nvidia, guys, I talked about it before in my video when Nvidia was running really high, and I think there were a few comments saying that Nvidia is not Intel and it's just not gonna happen. Nvidia is the best stock and Nvidia will never sell off, stuff like that. Because people are not, I'm not talking about my YouTube subscribers. These are people that actually find my videos, they watch it for one time, and they're extremely bullish on Nvidia, and they go against the video. And they would say like, oh, you're comparing Nvidia to Intel, it's not fair. You're comparing Nvidia to maybe another product, maybe AMD, it's not fair. Yes, it's not the same company. I'm not dumb. I know what I'm saying. But look at the earnings from Intel, what happened. And the stock pretty much, got absolutely destroyed. Nvidia is also a similar company, and they sell stuff for more higher price, right? This CEO is totally lying about everything. And I'm not the only guy, this is not the only channel that is saying that. There's a lot of other people, they do agree with me that, I know it's not on the paperwork, and you will say, oh, they can do that, they cannot lie. Trust me, when people have money, billions of dollars, those people are not us. You don't have $1 billion. I don't have that. If I had that, I would not be making a video on YouTube to help out more people to make more money. So the CEO lied about everything. How we can find out? Well, if there is actually a real recession, something happens, you will know the real number will come out. And now I think there is another investigation going on with Nvidia. Chips are delayed. A lot of things are happening. Just look at Intel earnings. It's horrible. And what happened to the stock? And this guy, every earnings, he just pumped it even more and more and more. Who knows? He might have a link with Nancy, where he's saying like, hey, I'm going to pump it, buy it. I'm just, making things up, guys. So anything is possible. Nancy buys it, goes higher. But we don't know exactly when Nancy bought and when exactly she's getting out. She could have bought right here after hour at 100 and sold at 118. We don't know those trades. These are trades that are coming out on X. I don't know who's actually putting those out. Yes, they have a position. I'm not saying they don't have a position. They're buying, but we don't know the exact time when they're getting out. Like Roaring Kitty, right? What happened? He's going to become a billionaire. What happened? They gave, us retail traders, people that are holding a GME or even AMC, a massive bag. When you open up X, you'll see sometime people are holding AMC at $49, GME at like 150. Hoping one day there is going to be a short squeeze, But I can challenge you. Roaring Kitty got out on that big run early morning from GME, cashed out. So these people are not your friend. They're not telling you exactly when they're getting out. These are not buy and sell alert. These are not guys. So people follow these people blindly. They see Roaring Kitty came back. Oh, just buy it. Nvidia shares, it's going up. The CEO said, it's gonna hit a $50 trillion market cap by 2050, and just buy it, buy more. No, we need to see the real earnings on a recession and see how the company will survive. Right now, he could be throwing anything out there. So that is why it's really risky when things are running high and you're full bull and you're buying everything. And I'm pretty sure there will be someone in the comment section that actually bought Nvidia shares at 130, 140 and now holding a bag. And I'm not saying, that is actually a really bad thing to hold, but look at the position you took pretty much at all-time high. So when you do your research and you see people are buying, somebody like Nancy, on the other hand, the CEO of Nvidia selling lots of shares, and you think this thing is going to go up? No, there is a huge sell pressure on Nvidia stock, and especially with news around a recession and all that stuff is going on everywhere. War, lots of things, guys. So Nvidia, I still think it's not at a buy zone. I think last week I bought Nvidia shares maybe 5-6 times. Every time I sold my shares at the resistance and cashed out. Still not holding. I'm not holding any shares of Nvidia as of right now. So going into next week, you can see, just like 118 was holding before, what's happening now? 107 holding. So it's on a strong downtrend. 107 gives up. We will definitely come down and fill this gap at 96, and that is going to be your downside target in the short term under 107. Longer this thing stays over 107, this could be somewhat of a short term, a bottom here. And if that happens, we might see a move back up to right here at 118. And over that level, we can possibly talk about more upside. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into Monday night.